talk to. We're about to go ahead and kick this off. Y'all want to save yourself some time, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. After thinking about it and everything, I still give this movie a 9 out of 10. Holy shit, man, fuck that. That's why I want to be organic. I need to start carrying my camera around with me just so I can capture the real feel. So I finally, after seeing it today, I was like, okay, let me go back and watch, some channels that I follow for like the action figures. Like, I was like, nah, I don't want to hear shit about the movie. He mentioned something about, it's a slag podcast, and he was like, IGN, I disagree. It's like, what did IGN say? I'm gonna say this right now. Fuck IGN. Fuck what the fuck you talking about. Fuck whoever wrote that review on Transformers 1. Fuck the motherfucker that let that shit come out of his goddamn mouth. This motherfucker said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the Spider-Verse. I am going to honestly say, make sure I'm not tripping. To me, next to the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie, this is the best adaptation. I want to make sure I'm not tripping. This is the best adaptation of one of my shows from my childhood since the 80s. The 80s movie was badass. It was like a badass commercial, just action left and fucking right. This was better, but not as badass. I wish I could make that make sense. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about like, is it in-game? No. Is it like, there's Spider-Man movies, there are Wolverine movies, there are movies that are great. Batman The Dark Knight, like there are great movies. But goddammit, they're not really what I grew up watching. Like, to me, the Batman Dark Knight was too damn good to even be a Batman movie. A lot of the Raimi Spider-Man, they're good, but compared to like, okay, watch the Sam Raimi, watch every live action Spider-Man movie and then watch the animated series. Look how much, this is the animated series as far as the shit, and this is the movies. The Goblin. Goddamn Goblin. Goddamn Goblin is in every fucking Spider-Man movie. Like, goddamn. Take a chance. Let this shit go, bro. The animated series, Spectacular Spider-Man, up here. And I'm sure a lot of the comics, which I didn't read them. So that's what I mean. The source material put on screen. The reason why I said the first Ninja Turtles movie, and I'm going to stop talking about everything else but Transformers, because the heart, I could tell, as I got older, it just got better. It's like Beetlejuice. I've seen it 123,000 times, and it gets better each time I see it. Nah, but for real. Because they took elements from the video game, from the cartoon, and the fucking comic, and they just balled it. They just chewed up the meat and spit out the bones. This, by the end of this movie, this is a love letter to me. This is like, they showed perfect, they showed perfect homage, or homage, however the fuck you say it, to the 84 series and movie included, and Transformers Prime, the TV show, I believe. First of all, the soundtrack, mwah. Like, if you watch Transformers Prime, if you one of us Prime fans, where's a Prime figure? God damn it, like, this is like the closest. Fuck it, I'm not gonna pull him out. Dreadwing, fuck it. Dreadwing was in the, you know what? I'm gonna pull out Bulkhead. If you are a Transformers Prime fan, you're gonna recognize the soundtrack. And I believe the reason why is Beast Wars was great. Beast Wars was phenomenal. But Transformers Prime was like an epic unfold story without goofiness. It was like poetic, and the soundtrack was marvelous. And whoever composed Transformers Prime, I bet you they composed this, or they took some music from it, I'm telling you. But the reason why I'm so hyped and I only give it a 9, I'm gonna tell you why I give it a 9 and not a 10. Half a point off because it wasn't enough badass battle music. The music, when they were fighting, the shit was high octane, fucking great. And I'm just like, damn, I'm just remembering badass songs like The Touch and stuff, which also, this movie sets its own history moving forward. This movie has its own staples to make its own. Here's like, one shall stand, one shall fall. That had to start somewhere. So I feel like this movie starts its own things. It wasn't like movies today, Alien, where it's just like, oh my God, too much, like too many callbacks. Like, no, this did funny callbacks. For instance, keep your ears peeled for You Got the Touch, You Got the Power. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I laughed out loud, literally, because I was like, oh, because it came out of nowhere, but it was, I'm just gonna say that. But, and that song is badass. Let me tell you, like, I'm all over the place. I don't give a fuck. This is not scripted. The other point that I give off for this, what was the other? Oh, Bumblebee. Didn't hate Bumblebee, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He just talked too goddamn much. Like, if this is his dialogue, like, okay, I already don't like that stumble, bumble, tomfoolery like that's been going on since the first Avengers movie. Like, I'm sorry, which is why I fucking hate Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the show. I can't even finish that. More on that. But Bumblebee, he was just obnoxious. He became they stopped it just in time to where I was like, oh my God, this nigga is the only thing I don't like about this movie right now. But that's it, just his talking. There was shit he would do and say that was funny. Don't get me wrong. It's like, goddamn, dude, like, and I've always thought of that of whatever the fuck his name is, Peele. I didn't watch Jordan and Peele or whatever, Peele and Jordan or whatever. Like, he and Peele, I didn't like that actor. Like, to me, he's like he's the black Will Ferrell. Like, you overdo it sometimes. It's not my cup of tea. Like, you're not for me. He's good. He's successful, obviously, but he's not for me. Like, goddamn. Even when I was like, I know whose voice he's gonna do. But if Bumblebee had to shut the fuck up for at least 15 minutes of the movie, it would have been a 9.5. And if when fighting, there was just that soundtrack. And what I mean by that memorable, just like, damn, when you go out and you listen to a song after seeing a movie and buy the soundtrack, the motion picture soundtrack, that they really just don't do anymore. The best example I can give is The Amazing Spider-Man. And it's called Ben's Death. Remember on that movie when Peter Parker was like fighting those thugs in the alley, then he first started doing parkour and they played that music and like that shit like that? Or even the theme when Tom Holland's Spider-Man was swinging, when we finally got his web swing. It wasn't action, but that is my favorite web sling, and I watched all of the movies in the theater as a young adult to a grown man. So I hold a little weight. I'm not just, but when that music they played when Tom Holland was swinging at the end of what is it, Far From Home? Yeah, no, it wasn't No Way. It was the second one. Yeah, Far From Home. Fucking love that. So there wasn't quite any of that, but it's okay. It was still good. And let me tell you something. This movie answered so many questions I've always had that maybe the comics, I'm only reading Skybound, maybe the comics answer this. I used to always wonder, for instance, when the toys first came out, obviously we know why, but you got to give me a story as to, on these Transformers movies and shit, the Michael Bay, they just scan something and become, why the fuck are you a goddamn Jeep and this motherfucker's a Harrier jet? If you can scan anything and become that, then fucking do it. Why are you a goddamn Beetle? And I'm like, okay, why are some Decepticons, goddamn, I love this figure. Why are some that outside of the original toy, so before some neck beard starts, technically the Diaclone, I don't, shut the fuck up. I'm talking about the mythos now. But it makes so much sense. Dude, they answered everything. And one major question I used to always wonder, even though IDW is still my favorite Megatron, I'm sorry, I was like, how the fuck does this Gladiator, how does this non-Prime, like, they talk hype about the power of a Prime and the last Prime and how badass they are. I'm like, how the fuck is this regular robot? I don't give a fuck what he turns into. How is he keeping up with essentially like the plot armor of the movie, like a Prime? This 100%. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna do spoiler. I'm gonna say spoiler, and then I'm about to do a countdown. Then I'm gonna, give a thumbs up in case you missed it. And 4, 3, 2, 1. The reason why this motherfucker can keep up, and I love that they did that, the original 13 Primes, he obviously looked up to Megatronus. Long story short, they got their T-Cogs, and they just transformed regular. It's not like he became Prime or none of that. They were just T-Cogs to transform. Eventually, he got Megatronus's spark, and he got the Matrix of Leadership, which is the strongest Prime, the spark of the strongest Prime, basically. Let's just say that. So now I see why they got even bigger, why they on par with one another. And I'm like, fuck, that makes sense. And done with the spoilers. So his descent into madness, I loved. Like, I was like, how's Anakin, this sweet boy, gonna turn into Darth Vader? I liked his descent even more. Just watch it. That's all I'm gonna say. I liked it, and when he finally became Megatron, I'm like, ooh. But let me tell you, never have I watched. I'm gonna say this again. This movie is. I feel like this is the first time I've seen a Transformers movie in the theaters. Yes, we've had those live actions that were good, bad, in between. People love them, grew up. Thank God there's no fucking humans in this goddamn movie. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not trying to follow, yo, Brooklyn, my baby's got scoliosis. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about your high school hijinks. I don't care about you meeting Bumble. Like, I am so sick of that shit. Oh my fucking God. This is the first Transformers movie I've ever seen in a movie theater, and I've seen almost all of them, except for the original animated movie, which, though these two will be the only movies that I acknowledge. I'm not gonna lie, fuck them Michael Bay. And honestly, another thing, this motherfucker, in my opinion, showed me why he's Optimus motherfucking goddamn Prime. I was like, yo, he seems to be so hijacked. I like the IDW Orion packs, like the Data Clerk, but I like this one. This might be my favorite lead up to Optimus Prime. I'm serious, because when they finally do it, I wanted to cheer. I got goosebumps. I did not realize how much Optimus Prime, I did not realize how much this motherfucker meant to me. I didn't like when I heard kids cried in the theaters and shit. I was like, why? I did not realize I love that they did this so I can follow him and understand what led him to the chiseled, wise leader that he becomes. He's not even there yet. But from Orion packs that you meet in the beginning to when he finally, when they said, the best part to me in any Transformer is, arise, Optimus Prime. Oh man, this was the second best when he finally became Optimus Prime. They even said a line in there that made me, that's where Optimus, because he's so optimistic. Like, I fucking love it. They didn't really melt that, but this movie I paid attention to, dude, oh my God. If you are a Transformer, I am 40 years old. I grew up with this shit. What I didn't watch is all the Japanese different ones. Like, I just grew up with the mainstream Transformers. I can honestly say, and I love this, you can watch this as an adult Transformers fan and take your kids to watch it. Take a kid that understands, and they're not gonna be bored and sit there like, there's enough silliness that I am glad to say they passed the torch. Now somebody who's 7 years old, like my nephew was, who's now 20, who watched this, now has a Transformers to grow up with, and from an old head, a Transformers that is fucking worthy, because dude, I'm sorry, the Optimus Prime in those live action movies, nigga, that's not Prime. I have yet to see the Optimus Prime by name that I know. You can't give me the soul of somebody and then just, you can't make Leonardo and Donatello be Leonardo and Donatello and then all of a sudden turn Donatello into Raphael's personality. Like, you just can't fucking do that. And you're like, what does that mean? That was not Optimus Prime. There were parts, but come on, man. I'm not even talking about the when he's like, die, I'll kill you. I don't care about that. Like, dude. Let me get back to what I was saying before I started going on a tangent. When he became Prime, do you remember how he basically mowed down and kicked every Decepticon's ass in his way on the animated movie? Expect some shit like that on here. And I remember saying, damn, let's go, nigga, let's go. That's my nigga. Yo, you got Prime fucked up. You got Optimus Prime fucked all the way up. And dude, when his eyes, oh my goodness. So please go see this movie. I am definitely going to see it again once it comes out to full. I couldn't even get a collector popcorn because I went to Galaxy and they don't give you shit. But I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to see this movie. But I definitely am going to go see this again next weekend. Most definitely. My two takeaway characters, my two favorite takeaways is actually Megatron or D239, whatever. We just gonna call him D. They called him D. D, and for the amount of time she was in there, Arachnid. Yo, that's another reason why I said they pay homage to Prime. The way Arachnid was on Prime, just, you know what I mean? It's not like a feud, just replace RC with Alita 1. But like, yo, like, I am glad they did CG. But those two were my takeaway. But to be honest, as far as performance, The best was Sentinel Prime. Like, we'll talk about it after I see it, but I want to say Sentinel Prime. And please comment after you see the movie, or if you've seen the movie, why. I don't want to go into spoiler territory. I don't need to. Because at the very, very beginning I was, but it grew on me. I was open. Skeptical, like, oh, here we go. No, this movie becomes Transformers by the third act. Like, from him becoming Megatron Optimus Prime, the moment they become that, this is now Transformers. This is basically Transformers. I used to be like, like, it makes sense of a war between Autobots and Decepticons. And fun fact, a minor spoiler alert, like in 3, 2, 1, and then I'm gonna give the thumbs up. He never says Decepticons. On the preview, says Decepticons rise up. They're not Decepticons yet. As a matter of fact, he's the only one with that insignia, and they misbelieve you. They don't show how he got it the way they do on the trailer. That's not how he got it, how they portray it on the trailer. Like, it's like they cut that shit out. But there's no Decepticons or Autobots on here at all. Like, there are none. They're not called that. This begins the war between them, the different factions. Like, this ends beginning that war. No more spoilers. So, man, please, please my ass. You don't have to. I honestly believe this, and I'm about to get on IGN for this bullshit also. If you are a Transformers fan and you go see this and you hate it, I'm not even gonna say. I'm not just gonna say I feel sorry for you. You are dead inside. Like, you are just an unhappy, negative motherfucker. Like, you hate life. Like, before you go see this, make sure all your ducks are in a row. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, please don't go pay money just to be angry at a movie because it's not the Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how true to form none of that shit is, dude. Like, I loved it, and I have rarely said that about a movie. Back to IGN. Fuck IGN, fuck who wrote that script, and fuck who wrote that review for anything dealing with Transformers 1. I won't even finish it. Halfway through, I was like, yeah, you got the game fucked up. Fetch Quest. Nigga, it was a pivotal part of the story. Like, it 100%, every goddamn Transformers story is a Fetch Quest in this motherfucker. I have to get the Allspark. Is that not what the Michael Bay movies are? Now, I'm not mad. It might be loud because I'm black, but every goddamn Transformers movie is a fucking Fetch Quest. So, like, dude, you fucking beard neck ass bitch ass nerds. I'm a nerd too, but I ain't no bitch ass nerd. Neck beard ass motherfuckers. It's a fucking Fetch Quest. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I can already tell that that's just hating. That's why I don't go by. Don't even listen to me. I like what I saw. I loved what I saw. I had to drive 30 minutes to go see it. Worth every fucking penny, every moment of my time. Traffic, it was fucking worth it. My only regret is that I don't have a 5-year-old that could enjoy it with me so I can pass the torch, so that we can identify shit. Because there was so many, they're not even Easter eggs. It's just the original Transformers. It's just the original Transformers. You can't say, oh, there's Blur, there's the Easter egg. No, nigga, that's Blur. Like, yes, there's like a race, but it wasn't like pod racing, which I didn't hate. I kind of liked the pod racing, but it was enough. It drove the plot. It literally drove the plot. Like, it literally, figuratively, and it literally drove the plot. Like, otherwise, how would these two miners even, like, miners, not kids, but like, miners for minerals and shit, energon as it were. Like, to me, it drove the plot. There was a reason for them to be in a race. It was a reason. It wasn't Velocitron or Expedia or nothing like that, but everything had a purpose. I could nitpick it, but once again, and I'm not even saying this because it like justifies, this is for fucking kids. It is not for your 55-year-old ass, IGN, you grown ass neck beard motherfucker. When I look back, Rise of the Beast, that's not for kids. I fell asleep to that shit. I liked the movie, but goddamn, that was not for fucking kids. The first Turtles was not for kids, but I loved it. The second one was for kids. None of the Michael Bays were for kids. Not one fucking Michael Bay movie was for kids. A 5-year-old with attention span? No, like, that's not normal. We paid to go see that shit because we finally got it in the movie theaters, and, well, we're gonna take our kids. It wasn't, mommy, daddy, can we go see Transformers? It was like, hey, kids, I want to go see it. Let's all go see it. So miss me with that shit. This was legit for kids. IGN compared this shit to Into the Spider-Verse and Ninja Turtles. My nigga, this movie blew that goddamn Ninja Turtles movie out of the fucking water. Like, to me, and I didn't even do a Beetlejuice review, that movie was a sick. What made that movie, if Superfly wasn't in it, that would have took it down even more. And now, and I'm not trying to hate on it because I'm giving it chances. I just fucking hate Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And one reason I realized, other than the stumble bumble, like you do too much of that, like that April Ninja Turtles hip hop cool stumble bumble. Maybe that's how kids are now. I don't fucking know. Oh, you're still doing it. I don't know. Like, you're gonna punch? Are we gonna fight? Like, shut. That shit is so goddamn cringe. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm looking at it from a grown man, but that shit is cringe. But what's not cringe, what ain't got nothing to do with a grown man, is they fight like Jackie Chan, and only Jackie Chan can fight like Jackie Chan. What do I mean by that? He's generally fighting to avoid a fight. If you leave him alone, he's not gonna fight you. They're running like, oh, accidental block. Nigga, every Turtles I've known kicked ass. They wasn't no fucking punk ass bitches. Like, we don't know what to do. No, sorry. How fucking dare they compare this to that shit? Spider-Verse, those movies are good. Those movies are excellent. But they are deep. There are parts, especially the second one, dude. I fell asleep on that one. They are good, but some of it is a little too deep, but fucking good. Get the Turtles out of here. Put Transformers right there. But put Transformers right there and say more so for kids. Like, this was 100% to bring in a new audience. Spider-Verse, I don't believe, was made to bring in a whole new, fresh audience, wiping slates clean. It was just like, okay, we're going to do our own thing, like Miles Morales said. And I loved it. But the Turtles, the Mutant Mayhem, man, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it was cool, but nigga, you out of your goddamn mind to compare it to this. No fucking way. And hey, I'm happy it exists. I'm gonna let the reviews speak for themselves. I can't wait to see Primal and all these other different channels that fucking love it. I can't wait to see TJ Omega, even though he gonna probably be like, and I think what they were going for here is they should have did them like, but I'm just talking shit. Dude, I know the dude's gonna love it. I know it, because I'm a Transformers fan and I fucking loved it. I fucking know it. I'm a Transformers fan from every generation that was good, in my opinion, good. And I mean, even I went back when I started collecting animated. When this first came out, I was like, oh, that shit looks stupid. No, not my prime. But after actually watching it, I've given it praise, and I still cannot believe, dude, I fucks with this show. This show was great. And I love it because I don't want to keep seeing the same shit. Like, one thing that I don't get, that I'm included, why do we want to see the same shit over and over? Like, just rinse, wash, repeat. Like, that had an entire generation. It came to an end. Let's do something different. This is something different, but it is the same old shit. So I can't really complain. Maybe because I've been waiting for this. Maybe because if you erase the last 15 years and start with this, and he was like, it's been in development since the first Spider-Verse. Yeah, I'm glad. You know what? Thank you for taking your goddamn time. Thank you. Thank you for not rushing some bullshit out that was just dry, stupid, ugly, unpolished. I cannot wait for those figures to come out. I want to buy them all. I did a hating video on the Optimus Prime. I don't even think I posted it, and I don't think I'm gonna. I returned that shit. The Studio Series Optimus Prime, man, I returned that cheap looking shit. And maybe I did post, I don't remember, but I did pre-order like the more what's his name? The higher quality paint job. I can't think right now, but I gotta tell you, dude, I can't wait to get these figures. I cannot wait. Even watching Sentinel Prime, I was getting vibes of Death Source as far as like how some of his design look, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it. Yes, it shows like jazz. If you know like the original Transformers, you can see them and then you see them become the Transformers. Goddamn, I cannot wait for Transformers 2 or whatever the fuck the second one's gonna be called. I need more. As a matter of fact, this goes beyond movies. This goes beyond what Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did with the movie and then Tales. This needs to do, because dude, look at the budget they have for Prime. That shit was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful, and the story was great. Some people like it was subpar. Was it Beast Wars? No. Beast Wars from beginning to end, that was a damn great story. But this needs more than movies. This, if they're gonna do a Transformers, like if they want Hasbro, should do Hasbro. Don't think of Marvel, don't think of DC. If Hasbro does Hasbro, and I hope to God I am alive to see it, and they go through just the history of Transformers in movie form, kind of like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and all that shit. Phase 2 is Earth, you know, this is 1. Phase 2 is the actual fallout between Decepticons and Autobots, the Great War that lasted for eons. I forget how long it lasted, but it lasted eons before it got to Earth. So I would be willing to take that ride. I would strap in and put on my seatbelt. I don't feel like it would get dry because there's so many stories that they can pull from, chew the meat, spit the bone out, to progress it alone. If you remember the MK9 video game, I know this seems out of topic, but MK9 was like a revamp of Mortal Kombat. Thank God they did that, because Armageddon trilogy was getting dry as fuck. It was dead. But they combined 3 video games into 1. So they can do that. Like, you don't have to show me every little bit fucking origin. Like, I don't need to see a goddamn Starscream origin. It was Starscream, and yes, by the end, he became Starscream. Dude, it was so great. So anyway, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. My recommendation, go fucking see it. Rarely do I see a movie twice. I didn't even do put the poster in there. I saw Beetlejuice. I give it a 5 out of 10. Honestly, just it was like, it was nah. It was like, eh. I mean, I didn't hate it like, oh, this dumpster fire. But I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, because it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. And maybe I'll do. Let me know if y'all want me to talk about my thoughts. I'm not gonna go fucking see this movie. Anyway, that's all I can say. Go fucking see this movie. Come back and thank me later. Anyway, ooh-yah.